Shanker Raman as a cinematographer or Shanker Raman as a director?
I'm glad I chose cinematography.
So did you start with still photography first?
कॉलेज के दौरान एक बहुत बढ़िया चीज़ हुई. I got a camera.
How would you say is your relation on a film with other departments?
See, if somebody watches my film and tells me it was beautifully shot, that's the worst thing they can tell me.
While you were shooting these ad films and all that, like as a cinematographer, did you always have a bent towards direction?
Like a character doesn't have a choice to not go into the second act. A human being does.
That's what drives all of us. For a person who is like completely out of the industry, if you can just simplify it for us. So there are various names. There's director of photography, there is cinematographer, there is starting from cameraman, but all pretty much do the same job. But what is the job of a cinematographer on set?
When filmmaking started, to my understanding and from my education, I can say, cinematographer is a person who is a technician, who serves as who's a person who is responsible for the production of an image. Right. So he or she is a technician who is responsible for producing an optimal image. Optimal by, there are technical standards and then there are aesthetic standards. So that is the person who's in charge of that function. That's a cinematographer. Because cinema involved as a medium for storytelling, so the image that you produce needs to support the story. So a cinematographer is also a person who serves the function of keeping the story narrative in check, whether it is with color, with the tone, or whatever it is. And every cinematographer will interpret a script differently. So there is no obviously one way to interpret a script. There is no, just like you don't have the same relationship with every person. Every cinematographer is different. But by and large, it's a job that you perform where your duties are, they can be tabulated and they are. वो अमेरिकन सिनेमाटोग्राफर में एक बार एक आर्टिकल आया था, द रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटीज ऑफ अ सिनेमाटोग्राफर. इट वाज 4 pages long. So I don't want to get into that. But pretty much, if it's, I think pretty much everything concerns cinematography. See, today I would say that the lines are blurred. Like, where does cinematography end and where does production design begin? Where does the soundscape come in? What are the various factors that serve storytelling? They're all important and the lines are blurred. So cinematographer is someone who kind of is tuned in to all aspects of image making, soundscapes, performances. So that's really what it is. I would say it's a lifelong learning. Up to a certain point, it's learning. Let me rephrase that. Up to a certain point, it's learning, and after that, it's unlearning. So if you really want to raise the bar, then you unlearn. Because when you learn something, you get stuck. There's no other way to know it. There's no other way to do it. And as profound as that learning is, it's of no use to you because every situation is different, every script is different, every collaboration is different, every day is different. So
परफेक्ट. मतलब आपने तो मुझे भी समझा दिया क्या होता है. तो मैं समझ गया तो कोई भी समझ जाएगा.
बट वो सिनेमेटोग्राफी का एक वो है ना कि वो किसी ने मेरे को बोला था कि डायरेक्टर बाप है, सिनेमेटोग्राफी माँ है. सिनेमेटोग्राफर माँ है.
ये माँ है.
हाँ, तो माँ कैसे, आई मीन आई एम ऑब्वियसली बीइंग फैसिशियस एंड आई एम स्पीकिंग, मैं अपने खुद के ट्रेडिशन का मजाक उड़ा रहा हूँ, जो कि उड़ाना भी चाहिए. कि माँ का काम ये है और बाप का काम ये है, तो हमारा माँ का काम बेसिकली सुन के लो
एक्शन।
तो ये है।
थोड़ा सा आप just for people watching, can you just explain the process? So from the time a director comes to you, and I think the first step would be telling you what the story is about. How does the process kind of unfold from there for you?
It takes a while to understand the story. See, a screenplay is a technical document. माने उसको लिखा जाता है इस तरह से कि सारे डिपार्टमेंट्स एक ही स्क्रिप्ट पढ़ें, एक ही चीज़ पढ़ें, पता लगा हम 5 अलग कहानियाँ पढ़ रहे हैं. So इसलिए screenplay is generally that serves the purpose of also to break it down and to put it in a sort of a structure system, whatever. So it's not meant, to my mind, it's not meant to be elaborate and overtly descriptive. It's largely action lines, dialogue, stuff like that. Now everyone will read it differently, right? Because you're reading something from your own perspective.
Yeah.
It's another way to put it is this: you don't see things for what it is. You see the things as we are.
Yeah.
मैं कैसे देख रहा हूँ वो अलग है. So when I'm reading a script, it takes a while to first get the essence of the story. Another way to put it is, why are we telling the story? Now we're not saying why are we telling the story as in let's not tell the story or क्या फायदा. That's not the approach. It's a curiosity. So what went through your mind? What sparked your interest? You woke up one fine day and you said कि यार मुझे बाप बेटी की कहानी सुनानी है. तो क्या था? So then the conversation opens up. At least this is what I like to do.
Yeah.
The conversation opens up and you get a sense of what the emotional stake is for you. And then I read the script.
Right.
Because then I can read it from a certain lens. Otherwise I'll just read it depending on my mood on that day.
Yeah.
Which is not very useful.
Yeah.
So I like to approach it like that now. And once I get the emotional stake, what is it that you really want to tell? क्या है तुम्हारे लिए वो कहानी? जैसे मैं वो दीवार पिक्चर की हमेशा मैं एग्जांपल देता हूँ. So it's a story about like a union worker laborer's family. वो उसके बाप को मार देते हैं because of union problems or whatever. And the mother the family's out on the streets doing hard labor, and both sons are being raised by the mother who's working in construction or whatever. And both the sons, they can see that looking at their mother's slog, they feel terrible injustice has been done. So now they want to fight for justice. So the way the older son fights for justice is by becoming a criminal, and the other becomes a cop. Now whatever happens. In the end, as things will be, the cop prevails over the criminal brother, and now you have the final scene where the family is reunited under these difficult circumstances. ठीक है? तो बड़े वाले को गोली लग गई है, उसकी माँ के गोद में है वो. मुद्दा क्या है? तू किससे ज़्यादा प्यार करती है? That's all it is really about. Did I do right by you? Now, when I put it that way, the sense of a lived experience comes through. There is if you will, there is a certain pause, a stillness. It arrests your thoughts. You feel now, here, present. You feel, they are like me. मैं भी ऐसा ही हूँ. That for me is the objective of a story. To shut it down. Because you can explain something as much as intellectually as you want, but there will always be a but. Right? But what about that? But what about this? That's not a story. So the purpose of story is to diffuse the drama, which is why there is a journey, which is why you need, I suppose, 3 acts. So, like a character doesn't have a choice to not go into the second act. A human being does.
Yeah.
There are no second acts in human lives.
एक ही एक्ट चल रहा है.
एक ही एक्ट है और वो जब कॉल फॉर एक्शन आता है तो हम वापस चले जाते हैं, कुछ और करने लगते हैं.
हाँ.
यार यहाँ तो पत्ता नहीं गला तो ये कर लेते हैं. The character can't do that, na?
Yeah.
They have to get into the second act and they have to get into the third act, and the story has to there has to be a metamorphosis. And the drama dissolves.
In a story has to speak to you till the time.
That's what I would inquire.
Yeah.
What is the story? What is it about? Why do you want to tell it? What compels you? What keeps you awake? And then I read the script, and then I gravitate towards certain. See, the thing is that the more you vibe with the story, the themes, the more you see images. You can see a tone. Now, tone just necessarily is not just color. Sure, it is also color schemes, this, that, wardrobe, वो सब है. मगर एक tone होता है, it's I would describe it as, it's like a vibe. So for example, often, you wake up in the morning, you have a weird morning, and you're late, and then, you didn't get a cab, and then you had to take a bus, and then you got there late, and then you were anxious, and somehow it worked out. So you could have had that kind of a day. Now you can tell that story while you're sitting in a pub with a friend, and there's loud music playing, and people listen to you. Now if you took that same story, the same happening or the occurrence, and told it like a secret.
Told it like a
secret. That's a tone.
Right.
The listening will shift. So I'm interested in the tone. What is the tone you want to tell the story? कई बार काफ़ी ऐसे मजाकिया चीज़ें हुई हैं कि I interpreted a scene as comedy, but it was actually a very serious dramatic scene. So
because that's how you read it.
That's how I read it. And that's how it occurred to me. That's how we should play it. But the director wanted to play it another way. So that can happen. No, it's not wrong.
Yeah.
It's just you realign to something and then it becomes a dramatic scene.
Yeah.
So therefore, it's the way, it's like आपके दुनिया देखने का नज़रिया क्या है. कई लोग होते हैं जैसे मतलब उनकी ज़िंदगी में कलेश ही कलेश होगा. Like बंद ही नहीं होता है. But they are very easy to talk to. They will always have something humorous to say. They will also be very genuinely kind. That's tone. It's that person. It's what they bring to a conversation or what they bring to the world. So authorship is that. Authorship is tone. मैं कहाँ से खड़े होके वो कहानी सुना रहा हूँ. मैं कहाँ खड़े होके आपकी ज़िंदगी की कहानी सुना रहा हूँ. अब मैं आपको लल्लू भी बोल सकता हूँ और मैं आपको होशियार भी बोल सकता हूँ. मैं दोनों बोल सकता हूँ. बट कैसे बोल रहा हूँ वो एक टोन है. सो आई फील टोन कम्स फ्रॉम your commitment to your characters to really get into their lives, and essentially it's your life.
And this is the tone that decides the tone of the film as well.
Pretty much, yeah.
Right.
Contributes to it. You need various elements like production design, lighting, costume, makeup, performances, of course, the way people speak dialogues. All these contribute and serve to the intention that you're creating.
Right.
कि मिलेगा कैसे, वही ड्रामा है. See, drama, it's best understood as there is an inherent tendency in all human beings to look at the events of life in cause and effect, especially when there's no connection. That's drama. So you are looking for stories. In fact, you're always telling stories. You're very rarely telling facts. So when your need for a story is so high, I might as well make it easier for you and take you down a road because you're willing to participate.
Yeah.
Why tax you? That's where economy comes, precision of movement comes. Do I need to really run this shot that long? Can I say it in a gesture? Because economy, everybody loves it. That's what I believe contributes to pace. Pace is what? Pace is, am I holding your attention? Pace is not necessarily fast cutting. That's not, I mean, sure, that can contribute to pace too, but you can zap an audience with a certain kind of editing, colors, shot making, but that doesn't mean you're creating compelling material. I think what is compelling material at its very core is emotion.
Right.
And that emotion of, yeah, this, I'm like this. ये मेरे साथ भी हुआ है. Or it can be, ये क्यों हुआ? ये गलत हुआ. ये ठीक नहीं हुआ. There's the sense of then what happened, then what happened, and what happened. But we sometimes tend to make films where therefore this happened, which is, so I look for that. I look for the then and the and.
Yeah.
So my work for me is creating and enhancing that sense of curiosity.
Right.
And that comes from identifying themes.
And you know, for a lay person, they might not understand tones, colors. You know, for them it's like probably every film just has to be short. But I feel that, you know, certain emotions come out really well. I mean, we know that, but certain emotions come out really well if it's well lit, if it's well shot. So if it's an emotional scene or if it's a love-making scene, they're two very different aspects, you know. So sometimes you get engrossed in it because of the way it's shot, right? But as a lay person, उनको लगता है कि उनको नहीं पता ये. So I personally feel that, you know, it's huge, the contribution of, you know, the way it gets lit and the way it gets shot, you know. So which is where our purpose here is also to kind of educate that aspect of it. And
Yeah.
post that, how would you say is your you know, your relation on a film with other departments, like after the direction department, which is the next department that you kind of collaborate with?
See, if somebody watches my film and tells me it was beautifully shot, that's the worst thing they can tell me. Okay. If they say it was a great film, beautiful story, I'm willing to settle even for great performances.
Okay.
And then if they tell me it was beautifully shot, I'm happy. But if a film is beautifully shot and the story doesn't work for them, then what good is it?
But wouldn't you say that's a good thing, because at least they saw your work in that film?
It's not about me. That's वही तो मैं कह रहा हूँ ना, अगर मैं प्रमुख हो गया तो कहानी कौन सुना रहा था? ऐसा होता है.
I'm sure.
मगर ये किसी भी रिश्ते में होता है ना, आपकी बात कोई सुन ही नहीं रहा है, बोले जा रहा है, तो वो प्रमुख है. वो रिश्ता कैसा है? उनके हिसाब से तो वो जीत रहे हैं ना. मैं बाप हूँ, मैं बेटा हूँ, whatever. So it's a relationship. So the objective of that relationship is not for my work to shine. Sure, my work needs to be authentic and accurate and must serve the story.
Yeah.
But I would rather that people watch a film I have shot and say, what a great story. So that was the first part.
Right.
Also, I would add to that is that watching films, developing your own taste in cinema is a journey.
Yeah.
Okay, that's all. There are जितने लोग हैं वैसी फिल्में हैं. You and I may like certain kind of cinema. Somebody else may like certain other kind of cinema. That's fine. So everyone goes through their own journey, cultivating their own taste. So I don't believe today that films like should necessarily be well shot and have to have that thing, and you know, all these rules don't work for me, because what are you really doing? I mean, are you making a showreel or are you making a film? But nothing wrong in making a showreel, except you cut it from the film rather than make a film for a showreel.
Yeah.
So
not at somebody else's expense.
That too. I mean, it's okay. I don't mind making a show reel at somebody else's expense, but I don't want to make a film like that.
Yeah.
For me, a film is a great space, like to. And look, if we knew what film we wanted to make, then we would go out and make it, right?
Yeah.
Why do you need a journey? आप 15 टेक लेते हो, 20 टेक लेते हो, क्यों? आप इतने मारती हो, तो पहले टेक में निपटा लेते. If you're such a great actor, if I'm such a wonderful director, if I'm got the best DP in the world, 4 ऑस्कर ले लिए उसने, 3 बीवियाँ हैं और 4 ऑस्कर हैं, तो फिर क्या? मतलब पहले टेक में हो जाना चाहिए. But it doesn't work like that. Because it doesn't. It's a synergy, it's mechanics, it's discovery. Like in human relationships, we discover each other. How many chances do we give each other? How many takes do we give each other in a relationship? That's why we call it a mistake. So yeah, the 19 takes that I did were mistakes. Mistakes. Which is why you do an okay take.
Yeah.
But if you're going to make a mistake in life, do you get another chance? Do you give yourself another chance? Now that's a story you want to tell, right? So coming back to the point is, everything serves the story you want to tell, according to me.
Right.
That's for me the thing. Now look, there are films that are pure spectacles. There are films that are whatever, pure action, and that's fine. That's also great. But the ones that stand out are, it's a good story told. Like, I mean, let's take a commercial film ka example. Take a film like Sholay. It's a great story told. It's an action film.
Yeah.
It's got set pieces.
Yeah.
It's got songs. But it's you don't remember the action from Sholay. That's not what you retain from that. Not really. You look at the James Bond franchise. James Bond hai wo, but then you make a Skyfall. So what's the difference between a Skyfall and whatever the other stuff they did? It's a story. So sure, there is, the script is important. It starts there, totally. I can say this now because I am now also written scripts. And
would you say next in line post direction would be, say, production design?
Yeah.
In terms of collaboration.
So my greatest collaborator, other than the director, is, I would say, the art department, production design. I always say 99% of cinematography is production design, and costume, and makeup.
In that order.
Yeah, I mean, look, if you put Roger Deakins on the sets of Panchayat, don't give him anything more.
Yeah.
And don't take away anything. So what is he going to do? The same shooting schedule, the same actors, the same script. It's a hit show.
Yeah.
You get my point? So, so what is it that I would bring in as a cinematographer? What I'm bringing as a cinematographer is how to create an optimal image that communicates the essence of the scene or the film. Is it believable? Like, believable doesn't mean realistic only. Believable is, I mean, you shot, Koran made a film in space. It's believable. You and I have never been to space. I haven't been to space. I'm spaced out.
Neither
but
have
I've not been to space.
Yeah.
So I don't know what lack of gravity is, na. मैंने तो कभी देखा नहीं, मैंने तो सिर्फ फिल्मों में देखा है या फिर वो जैसे डॉक्यूमेंट्रीज वगैरह में देखा है. But is it believable? Yeah. What is that? Like, there are clearly liberties taken with that film. But what is that? So I feel that all heads of department bring in and serve the vision, and the discussion that you really want to have with people is, what do you make of it? क्या लग रहा है आपको? वहाँ से शुरू होता है. मुझे ये लग रहा है. अच्छा, ठीक है, तो फिर मैं लाल कर देते हैं. ठीक है, कर दो लाल. अच्छा, लाल करोगे तो फिर ये भी है, नहीं ये वर्क नहीं करेगा मेरे लिए. So ultimately the director is there to in a in a good scenario there to say nahi kam karo zyada karo, and they kind of monitor the vibe. But as technicians we are also coming in with a learned experience of how colors represent themselves on screen. आपको दिखने में वो लाल अच्छा लग रहा है बट वो कैमरा में उतना अच्छा नहीं लगेगा. So ये सब चीज़ें होती हैं. So art department is closest for me. I would say art department, wardrobe, closest. How some things occur, and the best production designers, costume designers, makeup people I've worked with, they are hands-on.
Yeah.
Really hands-on. They know enough about my job to help me with. I'll say, okay, what about we do this? No, but you see, if you do this, then you know you got a lot of dead space here, and you got this here. So I get their thought process.
Yeah.
I may not accept the idea, but किसी की सोच समझ में आती है तो you get energy. You feel like wanting to go to work.
Yeah.
So, I want to engage with this. It's not about conclusions. Filmmaking is not a conclusive experience. It's there's an invisible transaction that happens when you watch a film. A film is greater than the sum of the footage and the sum of its sounds and the sum of its performances. फर्क है, उसमें एक लाइफ है, वो आप महसूस करते हो. वो लाइफ हम सर्व करते हैं, लेकिन हमें भी नहीं पता है. मुझे तो नहीं पता.
बढ़िया. From the different kinds of sequences or scenarios that there are. So one is you have drama, you have action, you have songs, you have multiple other things. Is there something that you specifically like enjoy doing, or is it the whole process together?
ऐसे preferences नहीं है.
Okay.
Biases भी नहीं है. क्योंकि देखिए, अगर if your filmmaking is a community enterprise, अगर community साथ है ना, तो आप कुछ भी कर सकते हो. Any genre, any format is okay. Do we all really care about what we're doing? And what I mean by care is not like we are going mad, running around like headless chicken. No. Do we really care about solving the problems that are coming up? Do we care for each other? So it's a culture.
Yeah.
In that culture, I have no preferences. Now, if I am not in that culture for whatever reason, then it doesn't matter anyway. Right? I mean, what do you say? So it's you've lost, because क्या है ना कि वो film is shot over 30 days, 40 days, 60 days, 70 days. It's not like 2 दिन किया घर चले गए. ऐसी फिल्में तो की भी नहीं है मैंने 2 दिन वाली. तो क्या है कि 30, 40 दिन, 60 दिन किसी के साथ रहना, वो अपने में एक केमिस्ट्री है. So मुझे वो क्या जॉनर है उससे फ़र्क नहीं पड़ता. कहानी क्या है, आप क्या सुना रहे हो, आप क्या सुनाना चाहते हो. क्योंकि ये एक मिसकंसेप्शन है मेरे हिसाब से. आम जनता को या एस्पायरिंग फिल्म मेकर्स को सब अपने मन में बना लेते हैं कि फिल्म मेकिंग ये है. फिल्म मेकिंग इज एनीथिंग, इज नथिंग लाइक द एक्सपीरियंस ऑफ वॉचिंग अ फिल्म.
Absolutely.
Nothing. So if I have watched a film and I'm like, wow, fuck, how did they do this? I want to be a filmmaker. What they're chasing is that feeling that they experience while watching the film. But when they come on set, it's anything but that.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's nothing like that. So it's chaotic. It's bizarre, weird, chaotic, humiliating. And untidy, messy, noisy.
But we still enjoy it.
But your attention is on the story. तो बाहर से कोई आएगा तो उनको यही दिखेगा, गंध. लेकिन जो अंदर जो काम कर रहे हैं उनको क्या दिख रहा है, सवाल वो है.
is it important for you to also feel like wanting to work with a particular director? As in, is that a criteria as well? Ki, you know, because like you said, it's a long association. So you might have a great script, but you might not really believe in the director, or you might not have, you know, got that vibe. So is that also, does that play a role for you?
Huge role. Film, I mean, ultimately the director is the person who puts the film together. So, हम कितना भी क्या कर लें, जो भी है, film finally, director, I mean, I would say the director and the producers are the key. Say, for example, if you're working in if the film is being produced by a studio or by a big company, then they're also equally invested in how the film is packaged, put out there, and for good reason. So that is a very strong factor in what finally the film is. But on set, as a cinematographer, I'm by and large working with the director. I don't interact with the producers. Unless it's a special situation or something. So for me, the director is very important. Like they don't have to be super knowledgeable about what I do. But for me, it's always enjoyable if they're passionate and they're particular, even they're, I mean, I would say if they're clear, good. If they're not clear, that's also okay. Because clarity comes and goes. And the clarity ka bhi ek problem hai. The moment you have clarity, you get attached to it. So it becomes unwieldy. तो कोई और पॉसिबिलिटी दिखती है तो वहाँ भी फिर दिक्कत होती है, नहीं यार वही चाहिए था मुझे. Like I'll give you an example. I mean, this is just a segue. If you actually ask today people who shoot films, whatever they do, how many of them end up rolling a rehearsal?
Rolling a rehearsal, okay.
It's a norm now. So why do we need a rehearsal?
अगर आप रोल ही कर रहे हो तो
Why call it a rehearsal? So why do we need a rehearsal?
Maybe they want to, I don't know, play it back, show it to the actors.
No, that so you can roll on the video, no, on the monitors. Why do you need to roll the camera?
अच्छा, okay.
See, first we had film. So it was expensive.
उसमें तो हम कर ही नहीं सकते थे.
तो करते ही नहीं थे. नहीं तो उसमें कर सकते तो वो भी करते. Why do you need to roll a rehearsal? So the mindset is, मिल गया तो.
Actually.
है ना? Now देखो कितनी विचित्र बात है. मिल गया तो. Look at the quality of life.
कि आप अप्लाई कर रहे हो कहीं तो.
I mean, it's pure suffering. मिल गया तो. आपका ध्यान कहाँ है? आपका ध्यान वहाँ नहीं है जो मैं बना रहा हूँ, उसको कैसे बनाऊँ और बिठाऊँ. Because it's a technical medium. You have lines, you have pauses. डायरेक्टर बोलता है ना, यहाँ पॉज ले लेना यार. अच्छा ये लाइन छोड़ दे, जरूरत नहीं है. ये बोलते हैं ना, क्यों बोलते हैं? क्योंकि आप कुछ बना रहे हो ना. So you got to get into the zone. मेकअप ही क्यों करना है फिर? मतलब तो चेहरा इतना अच्छा है आपका. Why? कुछ भी कपड़े पहन लो. स्क्रिप्ट इतनी अच्छी है, कहीं भी लाइट लगा लो, पीछे लगा लो कैमरे के लाइट. स्टोरी इज किंग. बाकी सब ऐसे. कोई कहेगा नहीं लाइटिंग इज किंग, तो लाइट लगाओ, स्टोरी बेकार. सो व्हाई, इफ यू रियली लुक एट इट, व्हाई डू यू रोल अ रिहर्सल? मिल गया तो. दैट सेज अ लॉट अबाउट द माइंडसेट.
It's a gamble.
Yes. And that affects the energy. In fact, that's the energy you're bringing. You will not meet the potential 100% because you are not meeting your own potential. I mean, it takes an act of courage. Mil gaya to is not courageous.
Yeah. Interesting energy. Technology wise, is anything that you applied recently, anything that's helping you, or it might come into play?
I keep, I mean, for me, technology is a means to an end. If I have to solve some problems, again, coming back to story, then sure, I can use pretty much any technology that helps me solve that. I'm not interested in technology per se. I'm not somebody who finds technology per se interesting.
Unless बहुत ज़रूरत है तो.
मुझे per se interest नहीं है technology.
Okay.
मुझे तभी interest है उसमें जब कहानी के लिए कुछ करना है मुझे. If there is something I want to, अभी, I mean, I don't know, you take a very simple example as, man fighting with a lion with bare fists. Now you can't fight a real lion.
Yeah.
So you'll have to generate the lion.
Yeah.
And that lion needs to look believable.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
So sure, I'll get into the technology because I know what emotion I want to convey through that scene, and whether that emotion can be conveyed or not. Because if the emotion can be conveyed by everybody, then why do you need a director? Just give it to a post house and they will composite something and give it to you. But it doesn't work like that.
Yeah.
Even if you have to do a simple car jumping over a helicopter, I mean, कहने के लिए तो element simple है ना. You need a chopper, you need a background, and you need this thing, and pretty much it comes down to generating everything. And उसके लिए आपको कुछ plate shoot करने हैं, वो shoot कर लो. So it seems very simplistic, but it isn't.
Yeah.
Because the money is always on believability. Now, my yardstick of believability cannot be the viewer. It has to be me. If I can sell it to myself, I can sell it to you.
Yeah.
If I am not able to sell it to myself, मैं आपको कैसे बेचूंगा? और आप फिर बोलोगे नहीं यार अच्छा लग रहा था. But I don't want to settle for that because it distracts me from the story.
Shankar, just want to know a little bit about your journey from the beginning. So, where are you from, and how did this whole the visual world kind of come into play for you?
I grew up in Delhi.
Yes.
I'm the youngest in my family. I have an older brother, sister. My father had a government job. My mother was a homemaker by and large. So we lived in a small 1 BHK government housing, and that's where I was raised. Went to school, just like everybody else. I think 12वीं तक तो कुछ आइडिया नहीं था मेरे को क्या करना है. ना ही कोई परेशानी थी कि कुछ करना है. So वो होता है कि बड़े होके क्या बनोगे, क्या करना है, तो वो सब सवाल पूछा जाता था मुझसे. तो हर साल मेरा जवाब बदल जाता था. तो आई थिंक एक साल तो मैंने बोला मुझे ट्रक ड्राइवर बनना है. So it kind of, and now I find it interesting to recall those responses because they all center around exploration. So I would say I was I'm a very curious person. I inquire a lot. I'm not really easily satisfied by conclusions. I like to know about things, about anything. I mean, everything interested me at that time. But I was also a science student, as in science-oriented student. I had science in my +2. अब वो थोड़ी सी मतलब जिस बैकग्राउंड से मैं हूँ, साउथ इंडियन ये वो, तो थोड़ा साइंस करो, साइंस में अच्छा होगा, दिमाग तुम्हारा तेज़ होगा. अब वो उस टाइम पे समझ नहीं आता था कि दिमाग तेज़ करके क्या करना है. So जो दिमाग है वो है, अभी तेज़ कैसे करूँ उसे. So it was like but I'm glad I did science. I have a scientific bent of mind. I'm fascinated to understand the phenomenon of life through mathematics, whatever you want to call it. So I find it interesting. I studied physics. I graduated in physics from St. Stephen's College. वो तो इत्तेफाक था. But when I was studying college, physics in college, I realized that जो पढ़ा रहे हैं ना वो obsolete हो गया. मैंने इसका करें क्या? Like when I went to film school, after FTI गया था मैं after graduation. वहाँ पे भी मतलब पढ़ा रहे हैं तो मैं इसका करूँ क्या? So what are we educated for? What are we being educated for was always a question which I had in mind and would distract me from the actual education. So तो पढ़ाई में मतलब ध्यान मेरा कम होता था. मैं इसका सबका क्या करना है, मतलब एप्लीकेशन क्या है, क्या करूँ मैं इसका?
I also had those things.
Yeah. अब कोई जवाब देने वाला नहीं था या बताने वाला नहीं था. I didn't have any real mentors or peers who could. We were all in the same boat, यार. I mean, like वेले थे हम. So इस दौरान कॉलेज के दौरान एक बहुत बढ़िया चीज़ हुई कि I got a camera from my brother.
This is a still camera.
हाँ, still camera. और वो उसने पता नहीं कहाँ से लिया था, क्या लिया था. पुराना था. It was an older Pentax SP1000 screw mount, 3 lenses. It had a 28 mm and a 50 mm and a 85 mm, I think. Anyway, so ये 3 चीज़ें थी. उसका लाइट मीटर नहीं चलता था. दे दिया मुझे, मेरे हाथ में आ गया. वो थोड़ा नेगोशिएशन भी हुआ था. He wanted me to bring down all the posters in my room. से क्या गन मचाया तुमने, इसको उतारो ये सब.
These were movie posters.
There was anything and everything. They were cutouts from magazines. अब he didn't find them appropriate. And I loved inappropriate. So but he kind of enticed me with the camera. He said, ये दूंगा तू उतार दे.
ये उतार.
तो मैंने उतार दिया और कैमरा हाथ में आ गया मेरे. फिर उसके बाद my cousin, मेरे 4 महीने छोटा है मुझसे, but he was a year junior in college. वो है चेन्नई से. वो ऐसे बिल्कुल ऐसे स्ट्रेट एज एन एरो. जहाँ वहाँ कहीं नहीं दिखता था. मतलब पढ़ाई और ये और वो गुड बॉय होते थे ना, बड़े इरिटेटिंग गुड बॉय. हाँ, तो बिल्कुल हर चीज़ में मतलब वो नहीं ये अलाउड नहीं है, ये अलाउड नहीं है, ऐसे नहीं, ऐसे नहीं कर सकते, नहीं. मैं उसके कहता है यार 50 रुपये दे दे, 10 रुपये दे दे, समोसा खाना है. नहीं मेरे पास नहीं है, ऑल दैट. तो इट्स लाइक ही वाज वेरी प्रॉपर गाय. उसको बना दिया फोटोग्राफिक सोसाइटी का सेक्रेटरी. ठीक है. तो बेसिकली आई हैव अ लाला who's in charge of the photosoc, we used to call it, photographic society. तो डार्क रूम था एक. तो मैंने कुछ फ़ोटो ली. तो फिर वो भी करता था फोटोग्राफी. अब वो फोटोग्राफी भी मतलब ऐसे अकाउंटेंट की तरह करता था कि मतलब
4 ही लेने,
ये एपर्चर है, इसको इस पे रखो, और फिर इसकी शटर स्पीड है, इसका ये करेक्ट रहेगा, इसके नीचे मत जाना. ठीक है.
ही इज दैट कैरेक्टर फ्रॉम 3 Idiots.
फोकस होनी चाहिए, शेक नहीं होना चाहिए, और ये कॉम्पोजिशन होना चाहिए. और मैं बड़ी शिद्दत से सीखा उससे ये सब. अब तो खींच दी मैंने 2-4 फोटो. सबसे पहले तो उसी की खींची. ठीक है. तो फिर मैंने कहा यार इसको डेवलप करना है. तो वी हैड इन अ फोटोग्राफी सोसाइटी, वी हैड, इट वाज सब्सिडाइज्ड फ्रॉम कॉलेज, सो इट वाज चीपर इन टर्म्स ऑफ गेटिंग पेपर
टू प्रोसेस.
हाँ, तो खुद करते थे. तो उसने मुझे डार्क रूम में सिखाया कैसे करते हैं. आई एम स्टिल ग्रेटफुल फॉर दैट. और सबसे पहले फ़ोटो जो प्रिंट की मैंने उसी की और वो कह रहा है फोकस नहीं है और ये नहीं है, तो ऐसे सब. तो वहाँ से शुरू हुई जर्नी. और जब मैंने पहली बार वो लेटेंट इमेज बनते हुए देखा, मैंने कहा, तो इट वाज दैट. अब उसको मैं अलग अलग कविताओं में बता सकता हूँ, बट इट वाज प्रिटी मच जस्ट दैट वाज द टर्निंग पॉइंट फॉर मी. दैट वाज the most magical thing. Also, I realized now in hindsight I can say that, you know, holding a camera was, I felt like I belong. I'm part of this world. I'm not dependent on anyone. I'm not afraid actually.
Yeah. So did you start with still photography first?
I did. I mean, if you can call it start. I mean, I was just taking pictures.
Yeah.
I wanted to be a photojournalist.
Right.
I wanted to join a newspaper, do things. But उस ज़माने में ना वो थोड़ा at least मेरे लिए थोड़ा इंटरनेट होता नहीं था तब. और किसी से कुछ सीखना होता था तो उनको ढूंढो, पीछे पढ़ो. तो I mean, it could be done. People did it.
Yeah.
But somehow थोड़ा टाइम निकल गया. अच्छा, टाइम निकल गया मीन्स कि काम नहीं कर रहा है. एंड
बस ग्रेजुएशन खत्म हो गया.
ग्रेजुएशन खत्म हो गई और टाइम पास कर रहा है. और पढ़ाई भी नहीं कर रहा आगे. जो भी एग्ज़ाम दिए थे MBA MBA सब में फेल हो गया. कहीं सेलेक्ट नहीं हुआ. फ़ोटो ले रहा है, उसके भी पैसे हम ही दे रहे हैं. और ये फ़ोटो दिखाएगा कहाँ, मतलब खुद ही बैठ के देख रहा है. सो देयर वाज लॉट ऑफ कंसर्न्स अबाउट माय फ्यूचर. माय पुअर पेरेंट्स, दे वर वेरी स्वीट, दे वर वेरी एनकरेजिंग, बट दे वर आल्सो वेरी एंग्शियस कि क्या करेगा क्या नहीं.
कंसर्न फॉर द किड की मतलब.
हाँ, अब देखो वेलापंथी में तो क्या क्या नहीं करते बच्चे. मैं तो फिर देन आई स्टार्टेड वाचिंग फिल्म्स. हमारे यहाँ पे एक थिएटर थी प्रगति मैदान में, शकुंतला. छोटा सा थिएटर था. इट वाज आई थिंक 100 सीटर. हर फ्राइडे को फिल्म लगती थी वहाँ जाके हम गेड़ा मारते थे, फिल्म देखते थे. सो इट वाज अ आई ओपनिंग एक्सपीरियंस फॉर मी सिनेमा. वहाँ से लगा कि हाँ, आई वांटेड टू बी अ फिल्म मेकर. I wanted to make films. I didn't want to be a cinematographer.
Right.
I mean, it wasn't as specific as that.
Right.
So then a friend of mine was applying for FTI, तो मैंने भी किया.
How did your folks react to it back then when?
कर रहा है कुछ तो करने दो.
कुछ तो कर ले.
कुछ तो कर ही रहा है.
फोटो खींचने तो बेटर होगा.
हाँ, मतलब कहीं जाके पढ़ेगा, कुछ करेगा. क्योंकि उनके हिसाब से वो होगा ना कि अच्छा स्कूल हो गया, कॉलेज खत्म हो गया, पोस्ट ग्रेजुएट, उन्होंने रखे होंगे ना पैसे कि ये भी तो खर्च करने हैं. सो ये तो फजूल में खर्च हो जाएंगे फिर.
उससे अच्छा ये वाला कर ले.
सो गो स्टडी, गेट अ डिग्री, डिप्लोमा, व्हाटएवर, एंड देन सी गेट अ जॉब. सो दे वर हैप्पी दैट आई वाज अप्लाइंग. At least that's how I choose to remember it.
Yeah.
so my friend was applying for it. I also applied. तो उसमें लिखना होता है क्या स्पेशलाइजेशन में करना है. तो मैंने सिनेमेटोग्राफी लिखा. क्योंकि मेरे दिमाग में ये बात आई कि यार अगर कोई सवाल जवाब पूछेंगे, if they ask me something about cinema, मुझे पता नहीं है कुछ. मुझे तो ये भी नहीं पता था कि it was shot 24 frames a second. Like I didn't even know that. Fundamentals. So at least I have some skills. I can show them whatever. That is the only entrance exam in my life I have
ever given. Cleared.
और इत्तेफाक से मेरे दोस्त का नहीं हुआ, मेरा हो गया.
He also applied for cinematography?
No, he applied for direction. And he is one of his closest friend, जिसकी वजह से ये still का जो तमाशा था वो आगे बढ़ा. और मैंने he literally educated me about how to look at pictures and what are the great pictures taken, and it was fascinating. The whole period of engaging with somebody who completely opened your mind to those possibilities. So he was that guy. Unfortunately, he didn't clear the exam. मेरा हो गया. तो मैंने कहा ठीक है. तो फिर वहाँ गया, फिर ओरिएंटेशन कोर्स होता है, ये सब, फिर इंटरव्यू होता है. थोड़ा लंबा खिंचा, बट आई क्वालिफाइड. फ़ोटो वगैरह थी मेरे पास दिखाने के लिए, तो ले लिया मुझे. अब वो नसीब का हो, जो बोलो. So that's how I got through to FTI. 3 years I was there. So that's been pretty much my journey. But I would say that I really lucked out. I lucked out in being able to find something that I feel collected internally doing. So you give me a camera, I can be anywhere.
Yeah.
You put me in the noisiest place in the world. If I have a camera in my hand, I'm okay. I have no problem.
That's your safe space, you can say.
I would say that, yeah. It's a safe space. It's very, very, it's like time stops for me. कैमरा निकाल लो तो मैं अच्छी जगह में भी बैठा हूँ ना तो भी आई एम रेस्टलेस. बट अदरवाइज आई एम with a camera. So for me, I would say I have an affinity for visual grammar, visual language. I think visually. I'm not much of a reader. In fact, I struggle reading. So I take very long to read scripts sometimes because my mind starts thinking of images. So I would say, yeah, that's kind of my thing.
Right. And how was the experience at FTI? I mean, would you say that, post that, because it's 3 years, was it really enriching? Was it like really, you got that confidence that you wanted? Also, did you feel that you've chosen, the right field? Because you said that you just happened to write cinematography, but at some point did you feel ki, because you have graduated to being a director yourself, so do you think that would have kind of helped?
I'm glad I chose cinematography.
Okay.
Purely from an education point of view, I'm saying. I'm glad I have knowledge of a technical skill. No question about it. As for the time I spent in FTI, I mean, it was good. It was by and large, yeah, it was good. But I was mostly lost. I wasn't really sure कि मैं कुछ सीख रहा हूँ कि नहीं. Because parameter क्या है सीखने का? Like, how do you know that you learned something?
Till you actually apply it.
Till you actually apply it, and even after you apply it, how do you look at it and say कि हाँ ये अच्छा है? Like this has fidelity. Like, how do you judge your own work? We were not taught that. See, like any other place, FTI also is made up of people, and like any other place, we all have our biases. So what we really imbibe as children, as even young adults, are biases. चीज़ें कैसी करनी चाहिए, चीज़ें कैसी नहीं करनी चाहिए. कोई बोलता है फिल लाइट लगानी चाहिए, कोई कहता है नहीं लगानी चाहिए. कोई कहता है बैक लाइट लगानी चाहिए, कोई कहता है नहीं लगानी चाहिए. कोई कह रहा है कि ये इतनी बेकार शूट किया है, इसमें इतना बैकलाइट लगाया है, तो हम कहते हैं हाँ ये तो बेकार शूट किया है, इसने बैकलाइट लगाया. खुद की तो कोई मतलब वो इंटरप्रिटेशन ही नहीं थे ना तब. सो I was kind of, sort of influenced by many such opinions. So I can't say I found my own voice or connected with my own sensibility of what things are, although it was brewing.
Yeah.
So that's what I mean by I was a bit lost.
The reason why I'm asking you is, because there is this classic divide, even as we all know it in the industry. You get a choice कि sometimes you have to make a choice कि मेरे पास था ये कि either you go to a film school, spend that money and the time, or you assist somebody. So do you feel that is there a path to choose? I mean, if suppose you hadn't done school and you had got a chance to assist somebody for the same time, maybe 1.5 years, would have been that a more hands-on experience while you were there, because you probably had to do that eventually after school as well. So
there's no way to know. If you ask me, I don't regret going to film school.
Okay.
I'm happy I went. I can talk about what else I could have learnt.
Yeah.
That's more useful to me.
Yeah.
See, if you really think about it, generally speaking, everyone says, I want to be happy, right? But what they're really looking for is solutions. They think solutions will provide happiness. That's how advertising works. Buy that car, you'll be happy. Buy this phone, you'll be happy. Upgrade your phone, you'll be happy, isn't it? We are in the business of providing solutions. Question is, what is the problem? Okay, it takes some skill to understand what the problem is. Now, if I have a neural itch and I go on Amazon and I'm starting like looking for some random thing, like a new phone cover. My phone cover is perfectly fine, but I'm looking for a phone cover. So what is that? So the same thing I'll say is that what is it that I was seeking at the time? What is missing for me? What is missing were two things. One is how do I convert my ideas to reality? How do I convert my ideas and turn it into a film? What is the process? And how do I gain, how how do I gain access to that process? All I knew was ये आपका assignment है, ये आपका exercise है, ये कर लो. तो बात खत्म हो जाती थी. वो कोई डायरेक्शन वाले स्टोरी लिखते थे, हम कैमरामैन थे, हम जाके शूट कर देते थे, उसमें झगड़े होते थे, जो भी होता था कर लेते थे, बन जाती थी वो. That process I knew, but I'm talking about the real world. How do you work with people? Like really, does anybody owe you anything just because you have a diploma from an FTI or whatever? Does anybody owe you anything if you have a lot of money? Who owes you what? But in our heads, we could be caught up with the sense that I'm a graduate and I know better, I'm more skilled than you, I have studied cinema, मैंने ये फिल्म देखी है, वो फिल्म देखी है, ऐसी करी है और ये बहुत अच्छी फिल्म है और ये बेकार है. अगर मैं इस पोजीशन से आता हूँ तो मैं आपके साथ काम कैसे करूँगा? अगर मुझे इस चीज़ की ट्रेनिंग भी मिल जाती, so it would have been very useful. A lot of time would not have passed in just mindless suffering. Sitting and on a high horse, कुछ नहीं है, बैठे हैं, अरे ये ऐसा है, ये वैसा है, अरे ये तो बेकार फिल्म है, अरे इसमें क्या है? So you are looking at other people who are actually doing things.
Yeah, and judging them.
And not doing anything. So that's a very low stakes life. Filmmaking is a high stakes game.
Yeah.
High stakes. And money is one aspect. The biggest thing that is at stake is your preconceived notion of things. उसकी धज्जियाँ उड़ती हैं पहले. And good. तभी तो कुछ नया, कुछ कहानी सुनाओगे, बढ़िया, मज़ा आएगा. Because what am I going to do with your knowledge? You can't get through to me with your knowledge. You can get through to me with an apology.
Which seldom comes.
That's right. So to learn to be with other people, to learn to work with other people is a skill.
Yeah.
To learn to be with oneself is a skill.
Yeah.
वो UNICEF के 4 pillars of education,
you
मैं
were
बता रहा था
mentioned to me,
ना, learning to know, learning to do, learning to be with oneself, learning to be with others. The way I interpret it is that learning to know is talent. Being open to learning to know is a talent.
Yeah.
That's how you hone your talent.
Yeah.
Talent is not an inborn thing. Sure, maybe you have an affinity to some things. I don't know, some people have an affinity for race car driving, good. I may have it for photography, sure. But that's not good enough. I mean, I still have so much more to know, to learn to know. I'm discovering things every day. When I'm open, I enhance my talent. Learning to do is skill. Learning to be open to learning to do things in different ways. That's skill. Learning to be with oneself is character. मैं अपनी बेचैनी के साथ बैठ नहीं सकता हूँ, तो मेरा क्या कैरेक्टर है? मैं तो उठा के आपको ही दोष दूंगा, दुनिया को दोष दूंगा, और मैं बिल्कुल सही हूँ. But I'm also miserable. So the question is, do you want to be right? You want to be happy? It's a choice you make. Learning to be with other people is trust. You bring trust. You build trust. So I can turn around and say, I don't know, man. I can't trust people easily. Good. So you haven't learned the skill. And it's all together. It's not separate from each other. So I feel if that training can be given, we will have more collected technicians, more collected people.
Right.
The mindset of I will go out and get this job and get this work won't be such a burden. Because the question is how? How do you get hired? I've been doing this for 30 years. I still have the same question.
Brings me back to the next question. Good, you mentioned it. So post FTI, how did that journey actually kind of unfold? So the first gig, or like how did you go about it?
So after I graduated from FTI, for a whole year I didn't do any work.
This was by choice?
Yeah.
Okay.
मैं बॉम्बे नहीं गया. I went back to Delhi, went back home. And I just pretty much took a break. I mean, I didn't even know if I was taking a break. I just didn't. I wanted to live in Delhi and I wanted to go back home. Circumstances were such, mindset was such. मेरे माँ बाप भी परेशान थे, क्या हो रहा है इसके साथ. और generally, like, you know, then after, towards the end of the year, a very close friend of mine, she used to work with a company and she was a producer there, and she said, you know, they have in-house cameramen, they do good work, it's not standard television. They used to do news-based documentaries.
This was in Bombay?
Delhi. News-based documentaries, they used to do travel shows. तो मैंने कहा चलो यार करते हैं, 2-3 महीना काम करेंगे, पैसे कमा लेंगे थोड़ा, अभी वापस घूमने चलेंगे. वो 2-3 महीने का 2 साल हो गया. So I was there for 2 years in Delhi and then I moved to Bombay. So that pretty much was, so I think the first phase of my career was spent mostly traveling, shooting documentaries, spending time in the real world, real situations, unrehearsed, you know, just out of the blue. And I think I'm very grateful for that period because वो एक जो latent hang up, there's a hang up, you're hung up about something and there is a general nervousness also about and worth and all those things, वो सब चला गया. Like there was no fear factor for me. I can shoot in any situation, any place. Give me a candle, I'll shoot it. So it's not a problem. I can tell a story because we were just telling stories out of nothing.
Yeah.
So that really helped in, you know, transitioning back to fiction, where you know, unnecessary time was not spent dwelling on things. वो होता ना कि यार दुनिया देख ली तो मतलब वो एक हवा नहीं है. It's not such a big deal. So that was essentially what my career turned to. Then once I was in Bombay, I was fine. Then features happened, this happened, advertising, films. So
you started with ad films in Bombay?
No, I was still shooting some documentaries in Bombay. Okay. Then I wanted to start doing ad films. फिर थोड़े म्यूजिक वीडियोस होते थे काफ़ी उस टाइम पे, तो फिल्म पे थोड़ा काम मिलना मुश्किल था यार. वो फिर वो शोरील वाली बात होती थी. आपने पहले क्या किया है,
फिल्म में क्या किया,
फिल्म पे क्या किया है. तो मैंने कुछ नहीं किया. अच्छा, तो फिर बात वहीं रह जाती थी. तो फिर मैं कहता था यार कुछ करने दोगे तो दिखाऊंगा ना आगे. तो ऐसे इट वाज वन ऑफ दोज थिंग्स. इट वाज I look at in hindsight I would just say one thing. I'm deeply grateful for those people, my friends, who took a chance with me. They had absolutely no reason to. ठीक है, nothing, but they did. तो मैं तो आज कहूँगा ही नहीं मैंने किया, मैं बोलूँगा ये हुआ. So this is just great fortune. Now I'm not saying rely on great fortune.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that. But that's the way I see it.
Yeah.
That's the way I hold it today. Because काम कब आता है I don't know. कोशिश करते रहो नहीं आता है, फिर छोड़ के बैठ जाओ आ जाता है. तो ये फंडा समझ में नहीं आया मुझे. I don't get it. Like even if I'm on a job, I mean every day is different, you know. Yeah. So I would say that I was sometimes at the right place at the right time.
Yeah.
A lot of people who are accomplished today, working directors in the industry, we all started our career together. So, but they took a chance on me, and that's what I remember.
Yeah.
I can't. I would say take a chance on others.
Yeah. What was the first film you ever shot, like a full-length feature film?
There was a film called Great Indian Butterfly.
Okay.
That I shot in 2004. But that film sat in the can for about a year or two. Uske beech mein I shot my second film, which is Frozen.
Right.
Which I also wrote.
But how did the first, so I think it's always interesting to know the first film, because that is when you're actually breaking out from a shorter medium or a shorter duration to a longer one. So how did that actually?
That it's an interesting story. Sarthak Dasgupta was the director of the film. We shot a bunch of stuff for TV together, and I knew him from FTI days. He used to come. He was Preetham's friend, so he was very keen, very passionate about making a film. He had written some scripts and करना था उसको, तो उसने ये स्क्रिप्ट लिखी थी, Great Indian Butterfly. It's a road movie, couple fighting on their way to go to Goa, and then they kind of come together. So पैसे थे नहीं, कहाँ से आएंगे वो भी पता नहीं था, बनानी है, तो हमने कहा चलो उसको मिनी डीवी में बनाएंगे हम. तो उस ज़माने में वो मिनी डीवी का काफ़ी वो था, हुआ था कि lot of good films were being made on mini DV. बनाते हैं शुरू किया. फिर थोड़ा we had bunch of actors, we started shooting. फिर थोड़ा वो किए हमने rehearsals वगैरह, मतलब sort of like a mock shoot we did, put it together, interest बनाओ, मतलब इतने पापड़ बेले उसने बेचारे ने. Like he really went pillar to post. Finally
it came together.
Parth Arora, who had his own company, he had produced a film called Dhoop at that time.
Right.
Om Puri के साथ. तो वो हुआ, and he said चलो बनाते हैं. So he got some seed money. 15 दिन का बजट था हमारा.
The full film.
हाँ. तो फिर गाड़ी भी मिल गई और तो निकल पड़े. So one day we were on the road shooting. So it's kind of happened that way.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm obviously skimming over all the great periods of uncertainty.
Yeah.
क्या होगा? But we were also younger.
Yeah.
We didn't give a shit about uncertainty and all those things. बनानी है.
बिल्कुल.
जुनून था. So उससे निकल पड़े हम. बन गई 2007 तक. We went and did another schedule and we completed it. But that was. But Frozen was released before that film was completed.
And how did Frozen actually happen?
Frozen happened again. Tafaq se there was Shivajee had his own company. The director, I met him for a music video that we shot, and then he had already directed a film which Raji Ravi had shot, and then he wanted to make another film which he asked me to shoot. वो script थोड़ी सी, it was set in Goa, I remember, and it was a bit too TV at that time. So I said कि इसको लद्दाख में बनाते हैं. फिर वो गया लद्दाख, घूम घाम के आया, कहता हाँ ये यहाँ बनाते हैं. So I said तुम एक कहानी लिख दे. तो उसने कहानी लिखी. फिर वो कहानी के बेसिस पे मैंने एक स्क्रीन प्ले लिख दिया. तो बन गई. So वहाँ पहुँचे लद्दाख. फिर मैंने कहा कि इसको ब्लैक एंड वाइट में बनाते हैं. He said हाँ ब्लैक एंड वाइट में बनाते हैं. तो हमने ब्लैक एंड वाइट में बनाई. So I'm just putting it really plainly to you.
Yeah.
Like this is what happened.
Yeah.
But we were very determined, really charged up. I mean, there was this, I don't know, it's not even like I can turn it on. We were just like
Yeah.
very charged up.
That's what drives all of us. I mean,
That's right.
In spite of multiple slacks or multiple failures, you still get up, and you go back. It's the passion that drives us, that you still want to get out and create something.
Yeah, exactly. And the again, in hindsight, everything makes sense and
जो भी
था. But मैं ये बोलूँगा कि it was, see, fortune favors the brave. I mean, my interpretation of that is, if you are willing to be vulnerable and put yourself out there and drive your passion, you get lucky.
Yeah.
I don't think lucky for me is pure luck, like घर पे बैठे और आ गया. वो नहीं होता luck.
You got to still work for it.
You got to still follow your.
Yeah.
You got to go out.
Yeah.
You got to show up.
And while you were shooting these ad films and all that, like as a cinematographer, did you always have a bent towards direction? Did you always feel that at some point I want to make my own film?
Yeah.
You did?
I did, yeah. Yeah, I was always interested in making my own film.
Yeah.
What film I didn't know.
Right.
बनानी है. मुझे वो प्रोसेस ही बहुत पसंद है. मुझे वो बना रहे हैं. I really like that. It's I would say that is my greatest asset.
Yeah.
Like I have more energy than typically than everyone else put together. Because I just love doing it.
Yeah.
I love solving problems.
Yeah.
And I love being with people.
Yeah.
Most people I meet don't want to meet other people. So I'm like, how do you do this business otherwise?
ये इसमें तो हम कर नहीं पाएंगे वो. मैं आपको एक कहानी बताता हूँ छोटी सी. I had gone to, there was this whole advent of, you know, Anurag Kashyap brought in this whole wave, and earlier back in the day it was Nagesh Kuknur, and you know, I used to enjoy those kind of films because they were very aspirational for somebody like me. I was aspiring to be a director back then. So I went to see a film with my wife. It had no really big stars and no really big actors, and I was mesmerized by the look of that film. I am not a technical person. मुझे आप लेंस वगैरह पूछो, मेरे को ज़्यादा नॉलेज नहीं है, लेकिन ये बहुत अलग दिख रही थी फिल्म. एंड दैट वाज गुड़गांव. सो दैट इज़ व्हेन आई फाउंड आउट दैट इट वाज, यू नो, योर फिल्म, एंड मैं तब से आपको चेस कर रहा था. दैट्स व्हेन वी गॉट टुगेदर, ट्राई टू पुट थिंग्स टुगेदर, बट हैवंट हैपेंड. And I remember, so my wife happens to be a production designer.
Oh.
And even she felt, we both felt that why is this looking so different? You know, why there was something about that film which I'm sure you'll be able to shed some light on. Like I said, I don't understand technical aspect, but why does that film look different?
I don't know. I mean, I mean, different is anywhere between an inch and a mile, right?
So it's the texture, it's the milieu. I mean, see, there are many films shot in Delhi. There are many independent films shot in Delhi. There are many thrillers shot in Delhi. But there's something about that which sets it apart, you know.
I suppose it's the tone.
Yeah.
It's the tone in which the story is told.
Yeah.
That is the only authorship I can say. बाकी तो होता है, मतलब हो जाता है, लगा ही लेते हैं, कर ही लेते हैं. माने अगर आप किसी भी डायरेक्टर से पूछोगे, यार यही शॉट प्लान किया था, ऐसा ही प्लान किया था, तो 90% ऑफ द टाइम ना ही बोलेंगे वो. बट सवाल वो नहीं है कि आपने जो सोचा था वो किया कि नहीं. सवाल ये है कि जो आपने किया वो उस अपने में पूरा हुआ कि नहीं, वो थॉट कम्युनिकेट हुई कि नहीं, जो क्रिएट हुआ उसको पहचाना कि नहीं आपने. मतलब जो क्रिएट किया वो महसूस हुआ, जो महसूस हुआ उसे पहचाना कि नहीं. क्योंकि उसको अगर आप शब्दों में डालने लग जाओगे तो वो छोटा हो जाता है. सो इट्स अ मोमेंटम, यू फॉलो दैट मोमेंटम. नाउ एटलीस्ट दैट्स हाउ आई रिमेंबर इट हैपनिंग फॉर मी.
राइट.
If you ask me, first day on set, I mean, I've been on film sets, I've shot films.
Yeah.
But as a director, it was my first day as a director on a feature film.
Yeah.
And I can't say I was all there.
Yeah.
Like I was extremely distracted.
Yeah.
क्योंकि कभी वो काम किया नहीं ना.
हाँ.
एक्टर से बात करनी है, अच्छा कितना बात करना है, कितना बोलना है. सो एज अ सिनेमेटोग्राफर मुझे एक प्रकार की लैंग्वेज मुझे पता है, बट एज अ डायरेक्टर मैं क्या बोलूँ. तो आई फाउंड माई वे. इवेंचुअली आई डिड, एंड आई फाउंड माई वे टू टॉक टू ईच एक्टर डिफरेंटली, बिकॉज एवरी एक्टर इज डिफरेंट, एवरी पर्सन इज डिफरेंट. कभी वो काम किया नहीं ना. एक्टर से बात करनी है, अच्छा कितना बात करना है, कितना बोलना है. सो एज अ सिनेमेटोग्राफर मुझे एक प्रकार की लैंग्वेज मुझे पता है, बट एज अ डायरेक्टर मैं क्या बोलूँ. तो आई फाउंड माई वे. इवेंचुअली आई डिड, एंड आई फाउंड माई वे टू टॉक टू ईच एक्टर डिफरेंटली, बिकॉज एवरी एक्टर इज डिफरेंट, एवरी पर्सन इज डिफरेंट. अगेन लाइक गुड़गांव एज अ फिल्म, there was a very strong sense of what is the story you want to tell, how you want to tell it, and how you want to construct it. Now this is very hard to express in words. वो एक अलग exercise है.
वो एक अलग एपिसोड है.
हाँ, वो अलग ही है उसी. बट इसमें क्या है कि काम सबसे ज़्यादा इसमें गया. क्योंकि जो 2-2.5 साल लगे स्क्रिप्ट करने में, अब वो लगे क्योंकि लगे. मुझे चाहिए नहीं थे 2.5 साल. लगे. So we kind of, it became, see also it's second or third screenplay I was writing. तो खुद का लिखा हुआ तो सब अच्छा ही लगता है. जब सामने वाले पढ़ते हैं तो फिर लगता है कि नहीं यार, या तो वो बेवकूफ़ लगते हैं या तो फिर. So it's a learning curve, writing. At least it was for me. And so what is the point you're making? Has it come through? Is it really the point you want to make? Now it's never ending. You can keep working on it. So I feel that the film ultimately came together, and I would say the editing, the way it's edited. So Shan is also equally an equal contributor to the story that you see. So, and Ajay Rai, who's the producer, he was also a major contributor to finally how the film is packaged. So I can't take credit for all that. I mean, my credit is there, but I will say all that happened as part of the collaboration. What I learned along the way was to trust the process and give people space. Because there is a tendency, at least there was in me, to solve all problems. But I realized that that's more a pain response rather than a commitment to solving problems. So I could give people the space to operate, and I could watch, and my job was to sit back and watch and take an overview of something. So that's what I learned. I learned how to basically just calm down and relax and watch things happening. So if you really ask me what the job of a director is, he's more a managing director. You know, you just pretty much manage conversations. उसका काम क्या है? You know, 7 बजे का कॉल है तो डायरेक्टर आ जाएगा. लाइटिंग वाले लाइटिंग कर रहे हैं, कैमरा वाले कैमरा लगा रहे हैं, एक्टर्स मेकअप कर रहे हैं, साउंड वाले अपना तैयार हो रहे हैं, सेटिंग वाले अपने हिला रहे हैं सब कुछ. मैं क्या करूं? एक बार तो ऐसा हुआ था, फिल्म बना रहा था मैं, फर्स्ट एडी आया मेरे पास. फर्स्ट एडी आया, बहुत ही कंसर्न था और कहता है कि शंकर, we should hurry up today. We like, you know, if we can move a little quicker. So मैंने कहा roll camera. So
I am ready.
What do I do? Then I found out what he was actually asking me to do was to take lesser number of takes.
Achha.
Now this goes back to the same point I was making. If you're asking me to take lesser number of takes, which means why am I taking those takes? So either you trust my judgment, or you tell me that, listen, the third take was great according to me, so move on. But either way, you're not doing my job. So if you're telling me that I should take lesser number of takes, then you have to do everything I'm doing. You don't get just this one thing. You have to do everything I do. Then you get to decide how many takes you want to do.
So when you are directing, do you sometimes get paranoid about who's going to shoot the film, since you are ace yourself?
2 फिल्में बनाई हैं, and both films have been shot by Vivek Shah. There was no question यही करेंगे. मतलब obviously availability ये सब है, budget, but I was very clear. I like to work with people who also like me, who are not like me, but like me. They don't have to be like me. In fact, it's good they're not like me, but who like me, who like me, love me for who I am, not for what I do, or dislike me for what I don't do, whatever. They like me as people. I get a lot of energy and encouragement from that. Of course, they have to be skilled and qualified and all that. वो तो है ही, and interested in the subject and ये वो. But वो सब तो था. उसके अलावा क्या है? What is the criteria? कितने qualified DPs हैं? But तुम्हें उनके साथ क्यों काम करना है? क्योंकि मुझे अच्छा लगता है कि जो मुझे पसंद कर रहा है वो मेरे साथ है. It gives me a lot of energy. I can talk to them and I can say क्या लग रहा है. तो वो बताएगा, वो बोलेगा ये बकवास है, तो मैं सुन भी सकता हूँ. अगर कोई बोलेगा बकवास है तो मुझे लगेगा अरे यार ये जज करें. It's a very vulnerable space. I mean, sitting at home I can be very intellectual about this whole damn thing. But when you're out in the trenches, dodging bullets, तो फिर क्या? I mean, it's really, it's messy and chaotic.
So now if you look back, is it Shanker Raman as a cinematographer or Shanker Raman as a director? What is your, like if you had a choice?
Look, a lot of people ask me this question. And I'll tell you this very honestly, they're two separate jobs.
No, that's what I'm saying. So, preference है?
नहीं है. अगर आप preference ही मांगोगे ना, तो मैं direction बोलूँगा. And not because I think it's better than being a cinematographer. It's just less work.
I think you make it look like less work, but it
is much less work. Please trust me.
Okay.
Being a DP is a lot of work, man. It's a lot of work.
ये पीछे आंसर है.
Of course, they know. बहुत काम ही काम है, मतलब काम ही है. काम मतलब it's like you काम, कैमरा लगाओ, लाइटिंग कराओ, लाइट कट करो, फ्लैग करो, मज़ा नहीं आ रहा है, रिहर्सल लो, कैमरा हाथ में लो, फिर से लो, फिर से लो, ठीक है, लेंस चेंज करो, फिर से लो, एंड 40 दिन 50 दिन, it's a lot of work.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, I enjoy it, I love it, and when I do it, like I said, it's a different job. I don't have a problem with that kind of work. But if you really look at both the jobs, being a director is खुशी, man. क्या करना है उसको? वो सुबह आएगा, बैठ जाएगा, देखो सब अपने मूड में. When the actor will come out of the trailer, they'll come out of the trailer. Right? अगर उनका पेट खराब है, उनका मूड ऑफ है, मैं क्या कर लूँगा? ठीक है, तो आएंगे जब आएंगे, शॉट लग रहा है जब लग रहा है. मैंने तो बता दिया ना, यहाँ से यहाँ चलना है, उसमें 30 सेकंड नहीं लगते बताने में. ठीक है? Because I've already know the shot. I've storyboarded it. I've been writing it for bloody a year and a half, so I know what the shot is. That's it. You walk from here to there, stop, turn, look, cut. अब वो चल रहा है, लगा रहे हैं, वहाँ से वहाँ काला कपड़ा लग रहा है, यहाँ से सफ़ेद कपड़ा लग रहा है, ये सब हो रहा है, मैं बैठा हूँ. तो मेरे को देखते हैं आप इतने आराम से बैठे हो, अगला शॉट के लिए प्रिपेयर कर लेते हैं. मैंने कर लेते हैं, अगला शॉट तो इधर ही लगाना है ना. So it's not, it's less work.
Okay.
It's actually no work, if you ask me. Because I'm doing something that I completely, totally enjoy and I'm in love with. So where's the work?
Yeah.
Now, contrasted with cinematography, I totally love it and enjoy it. But it's work, it's physical work.
Physical work, yes.
Yeah. So that's what I mean by that.
Yeah, yeah. So Shankar, first and foremost, for the last segment, thank you very much for these, first and foremost, to be on the show. आपका time निकाल के आप आए यहाँ पे, and you are the real insider. You've given us some really good insight. Like I tell everybody, I have also learned something, and I have known you for a while. I know we've been trying to collaborate and work, so it's high time. I think this is the beginning of that collaboration.
That's very good.
We finally did something.
Happy to be here.
And for all the information that you gave us and the time that you gave us, this is a small, very small gesture for you.
Thank you. This is more than small. This is like, I don't know, this looks like 6 scripts I have to read.
And there is a lens also which you can
that's the only lens which was missing in my kitty. Thank you.